Allo, allo, it's Nia. Welcome to AI Creator World Podcast, the place where creators learn how to grow faster, build smarter, and turn artificial intelligence into real opportunity. Here, we explore powerful AI tools, content strategies, personal branding systems, and new ways to create income in the digital era. If you are building something online, you are in the right place. Let's begin.
So right now, there are influencers on your feed with like hundreds of thousands of followers, right?
hmm
And they're pulling in these huge, lucrative brand deals.
Oh, yeah. Massive deals.
Right, and they're replying to comments, they're building these highly engaged communities, and they do not actually exist.
Which is still just wild to think about.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a pure AI. But honestly, the craziest part isn't the rendering technology making their faces look human.
Right.
The craziest part is the meticulous, almost, I don't know, mechanical operational framework that's actually running their brains in the background.
Yeah, the strategy behind it all.
Exactly. So today, we are going on a deep dive into this really fascinating 2026 document. It's titled The 30-Day AI Influencer Content Calendar for Beginners.
hmm
And, as a fellow learner who's just trying to understand how the modern internet actually functions, you really need to see how this magic is manufactured.
Yeah, you have to look under the hood.
Because we're looking at the specific tools that separate the AI creators who consistently grow from the ones whose follower counts just, well, completely flatline.
Right. And what's fascinating here is that this guide, it really is a masterclass in treating creativity as a scalable industrial system,
Yeah.
rather than just this spontaneous accident.
Right.
Because the source material we're looking at, it's not just some random list of dates and suggested post topics. It actually functions as a complete growth engine.
A growth engine, yeah.
Exactly. And it relies on 4 core principles, which are consistent frequency, content variety, batch production, and data-informed adjustment.
Okay, so that framing, I mean, that fundamentally changes how you have to think about social media entirely.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Because, most beginners approach these platforms basically just waiting for inspiration to strike.
Oh, they want to feel it.
Right. They want to be reactive. They want to wake up, see what's trending, and just chase the trend of the day. So why does that fail so spectacularly for a brand new AI influencer?
Well, because being spontaneous and reactive, that's a privilege. And it's reserved exclusively for established accounts.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like if a creator already has a massive loyal audience, they can generate engagement on demand just by, showing up on a feed. The algorithm already trusts them.
Right. They've earned that trust.
Exactly. But for a brand new account, chasing trends is just the fastest route to algorithmic confusion. The platform has literally no idea who the creator is, who they serve, or what their value is yet.
So it just buries them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Attempting to be spontaneous leads to really inconsistent growth. And for the actual human being running the AI, it leads to severe posting burnout.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second because trying to grow spontaneously is kind of like trying to build a brick wall by randomly tossing bricks into the yard whenever you feel creatively inspired.
That is a great way to put it, yeah.
Like, you're not going to get a wall, you're going to get a pile of bricks. A structured calendar is the mortar that actually holds those bricks together to form a recognizable shape.
Right, and the compounding benefits of that mortar are massive. First off, you get algorithmic consistency. Platforms actively reward predictable posting behavior.
Because they want you on the app.
Exactly. When a creator posts reliably, it signals to the platform's machine learning that, hey, this is a committed, high-quality account. It's worth testing in front of new users.
Makes sense.
And second, the content quality naturally increases. Proactive creation is always superior to reactive creation because the creator isn't rushing to just, capitalize on a fleeting moment.
They actually have time to think.
Right. And finally, and I'd argue this is mostly importantly for a solo operator, it provides mental clarity. It completely eliminates that draining decision fatigue of waking up and asking, what on earth do I post today?
Oh, man, that is the worst feeling, just staring at a blank screen.
And there's a very specific timeline attached to this system, right? The 90-day rule. Yes, the 90-day rule. The data reveals a stark contrast here. Accounts that stick to a structured, relentless calendar for a full 90 days almost universally outperform equivalent accounts that just post whenever the mood strikes.
Wow.
Universally.
Yeah. And the real inflection point, it happens between months 2 and 4. That's the window where growth just accelerates drastically.
Okay, and that acceleration, it happens because of what the guy calls the authority signal, right?
Exactly.
Like each new post benefits from the algorithm trusting the historical performance of the previous posts. So month one is basically just screaming into the void.
Pretty much, yeah. Just crickets.
Right, and then month two, the algorithm tests you a little bit. And then month three, it opens the floodgates.
Yes.
But, I mean, it seems incredibly easy to sabotage that momentum. Like, what are the trap doors that beginners usually fall through?
So the failures usually stem from overcommitment. Creators draft this rigid 90-day master plan that completely shatters the second real life interrupts them.
Oh, sure, you get sick, or you have to work late. Exactly. Or they attempt to launch like 5 different content formats at once before they even gather any data on what their specific audience actually engages with.
Right.
But honestly, the most lethal mistake is planning an unsustainable daily production grind.
Okay, wait, but with AI tools, couldn't I theoretically just generate a brand new mid-journey image every single morning in like 5 minutes? Why is a daily grind unsustainable if the AI is doing all the heavy lifting?
Well, because that assumption completely ignores the cognitive load of context switching.
Ah, okay.
Right? Because it is never just generating an image. It's writing the prompt, fixing the anatomical errors.
Like the AI generating six-fingered.
Exactly. The weird hand stuff, you have to fix that, upscale the resolution, transfer the file, write a compelling caption, research the current hashtags, and then actually schedule the posts.
Okay, yeah, when you list it out like that, it sounds exhausting.
It is. Doing that entire sequence every single day for a solo creator is basically a guaranteed path to burnout within 3 weeks.
Okay, so if we are committing to this 90-day mortar, what actual bricks are we laying? Because if I just generate a beautiful, glossy AI portrait every single day at noon, the platform's algorithm is going to get incredibly bored.
Oh, very bored. Very quickly.
So how do we vary the diet to keep the machine fed? Because the blueprint breaks this down into 5 specific content formats, acting kind of like different gears in a watch.
Right, and every gear has a distinct necessary function. So the mainspring pulling energy into the system is Reels and short-form video.
Okay.
That's the primary reach driver. Short-form video is how an account acquires completely new followers. And the target frequency is 2 per week, one capitalizing on a current audio trend and one that's an evergreen educational tutorial.
Right, and the production time on a video like that sounds intense, but the mechanics of the tech stack make it surprisingly fast.
Oh, incredibly fast.
Like the workflow requires about 20 to 30 minutes,
Yeah.
right? You use ChatGPT to write the actual script.
Yeah.
You feed that text into HeyGen.
Which is such a cool tool.
It is. It's an AI video generator that takes your script and makes a photorealistic human avatar actually speak those words. And then you just pull that video file into an editor like CapCut to add flashy captions and music. Boom, 2 videos a week. Done.
Yep, it's that streamlined.
So what's the next gear?
The next gear is stories. This gear maintains your daily momentum. We're talking 3 to 5 brief posts a day just to keep the creator's profile picture illuminated at the very top of their followers' feeds.
Just constantly in their face, but in a subtle way.
Exactly. And it requires very low effort, usually under 5 minutes, using a design template in Canva. Following that, we have carousels. 2 per week. These are the 5 to 8 slide, swipeable posts that deliver multi-step value. Think of a step-by-step tutorial or like a visual comparison.
Right, and carousels get the highest save rate of any format, which is a metric we are definitely going to dissect later.
Oh, definitely. Saves are crucial.
But then we hit the live and interactive gear, which is 1 per week. Polls, Q&As. Wait, here's where it gets really interesting. How practically does a completely virtual, non-existent character do an authentic Ask Me Anything or a live session?
Yeah.
And why is that authenticity signal so heavily scrutinized by the platforms if they know it's AI?
I know it sounds like a paradox, right? But the algorithm actually, well, it doesn't care if the influencer is a biological human or an arrangement of pixels.
Really, it doesn't care at all.
Not really. It cares strictly about community engagement signals. So a solo creator doesn't necessarily need to rig up some complex live streaming motion capture avatar.
Oh, thank God. That sounds expensive.
It is. Instead, they can just use real-time interactive stickers or a simple Q&A box on a story. The human creator types out the responses to audience questions and then just overlays them on a pre-rendered looping video of the AI avatar nodding or looking thoughtful.
Wow, that's so simple.
Right. But it proves to the platform that there is a responsive intelligence behind the account. It proves this isn't just a bot spamming static images. And when an account participates in that kind of two-way communication, the algorithm rewards that community engagement with massive organic distribution.
That is a brilliant workaround. Okay, so the final smallest gear in the machine is the quote or personality posts,
Right.
1 to 2 a week.
Yep.
And these are just lightweight calendar fillers designed purely to build the brand's unique voice and aesthetic.
Exactly.
So we have our 5 gears: short form video, stories, carousels, interactive, and quotes. But how do we actually assemble them?
Right. The sequencing.
Because the blueprint maps out a highly specific 30-day, 4-week progression. And notice how this sequence, it basically mirrors the exact psychological arc of building a human relationship from scratch.
It really does. The psychology is highly calculated. So week 1 is dedicated entirely to introduction and persona.
Yep.
Every single piece of content published during those first 7 days is designed to answer one underlying question for the viewer. Why should I follow this account?
Okay, so Monday's the handshake, like a 5 to 7 slide carousel
Yeah.
introducing the character's background.
Yes.
And then Tuesday is a behind-the-scenes story showing, like, how I was created or my daily routine. It establishes the niche and the visual aesthetic immediately.
Exactly. And then week 2 shifts the operational focus entirely to value and authority. The introduction is over, right?
Yeah.
Now the account has to prove its expertise to those new followers.
Prove that they actually know what they're talking about.
Right. This is the window to deploy educational carousels, detailed tutorials, maybe affiliate product recommendations, and a highly polished, information-dense reel. The entire goal is delivering clear, actionable value.
Which earns trust. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Then we hit week 3, which is engagement and storytelling. So if week 1 was the handshake and week 2 is proving you're smart, week 3 is basically grabbing a coffee and sharing secrets.
I love that analogy, yes.
Right. It's about deepening the emotional connection. So you're posting relatable content, like things only graphic designers understand, you know, if that happens to be the niche.
Yeah, the inside jokes.
Exactly. And the creator is heavily replying to comments in character and posting these emotional, narrative-driven reels.
And then finally, week 4 culminates in growth and conversion. This is the ask.
The ask.
Yep. The account repeats the specific formats that garnered the most traction in the first 2 weeks. It publishes high-hook viral attempt reels. And most importantly, it actively directs followers to a link in bio, a newsletter, or a digital product.
So they're finally cashing in on that trust.
Exactly. And then the entire 30-day cycle concludes with a strict objective analytics audit on days 28 through 30.
Man, it is a perfectly engineered digital friendship.
It really is.
But looking at that output, I mean, 3 to 5 feed posts a week, plus daily stories, it sounds like a full-time media operation. For you listening, you might be wondering how a single person with a day job could ever pull this off.
Yeah, it sounds impossible on paper.
Right. So the transition from theory to reality requires extreme batching using AI tools. Because the stated goal here is to create an entire month of content in a single day.
Yes, one single day. And surviving this calendar requires absolute adherence to what is called the rule of sequence.
Okay, what is that?
The creator must never switch tools mid-session. All tasks within one software environment must be completed for the entire month before moving to the next platform.
Ah, meaning if I have ChatGPT open, I am only generating text. I am not like jumping over to Canva to see how a title looks on a graphic.
Exactly, which is the exact opposite of how most people work.
Right. Normally you do one whole post, start to finish.
Yeah, but context switch, moving from verbal ideation to visual design to video editing, it just destroys your cognitive energy. The assembly line prevents that.
Okay, walk me through the steps.
So step 1 is ideation. The creator uses one master prompt in ChatGPT to generate 30 days of content ideas, video hooks, and brief descriptions simultaneously.
And just boom, all at once.
Boom. And then those ideas are quickly validated against Google Trends to ensure there is actual search volume for the topics.
Okay, so the brain work is basically finished for the entire month in under 20 minutes. You know exactly what you are making.
Exactly. Then step 2 moves entirely to visuals. The creator opens Mid-Journey and generates all the character images, the backgrounds, and the aesthetic assets for the entire month in one focused 30-minute sitting.
But they aren't putting text on them yet.
Nope. No captions are written, no graphics are designed, just raw image generation.
Got it. Then step 3 is video. You take those scripts from step 1, you upload them all into Hagen to generate the speaking avatars in bulk, and then pull all those video files into CapCut to edit the pacing and add subtitles in one continuous workflow.
Right, you're staying in video mode. Then step 4 handles design and copy. The creator opens Canva, building all the carousel slide decks and the daily story frames using those raw images from step 2. And once the visual layouts are completely locked, they return to ChatGPT to generate all the final post captions and targeted hashtags in one massive batch.
Wow. And finally, step 5 is scheduling.
Yep.
You take the entire folder of finished assets, you import them into a tool like Buffer or Later, map them onto the calendar, and just set them to auto-publish. The month is finished, you literally don't have to touch it again.
It is the only viable method for a solo operator to mimic the daily output of a full-scale media agency.
It's credible.
However, producing the assets is really only half the equation. The system also requires maximizing the algorithmic output of what you've just created, and that involves playing the timing game and recycling ruthlessly.
Oh, yes. Let's explore the timing aspect, which the guide refers to as timing velocity. Why does the exact minute a post goes live matter so much to the machine learning?
It all comes down to the critical first hour of a post's life. Getting content published precisely when the target audience is opening the app boosts immediate engagement.
Because they're already there, scrolling.
Exactly. And that early spike in velocity signals the algorithm that the content is highly relevant, which prompts it to push the post to a much wider organic audience.
Okay, so what are the actual times?
For Instagram, the historical data points to specific windows. Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. catching the pre-work scroll, 12 to 1 p.m. for the lunch break, and 6 to 9 p.m. for the evening wind down.
Makes sense.
But TikTok, conversely, demands a much higher overall frequency, often requiring 1 to 2 posts a day just to maintain growth momentum.
Wait, which sounds like it requires doubling the production schedule. That breaks the one-day batching rule.
It would, but the blueprint outlines a cross-platform hack to bypass that entirely.
Okay, let's hear it.
You publish a short-form video on Instagram, wait 24 to 48 hours, and then publish that exact same video file to TikTok.
Oh, so you're staggering them.
Yes. Staggering the release schedule maximizes the shelf life of the content. A video that peaks on Tuesday on Instagram can experience a completely separate viral peak on Thursday on TikTok without requiring the creator to produce a second video.
That is so smart. And this methodology ties directly into their repurposing formula.
Oh, yeah. This is where the efficiency really compounds.
Right, because you take a script that performed well as a reel, and you convert that exact same information into a swipeable carousel. You take a 60-second educational video, chop it into 4 15-second clips, and use them as a daily story sequence to keep narrative engagement high. I mean, you can even feed an Instagram caption back into ChatGPT and instruct it to rewrite the text into a keyword-rich Pinterest description in like 10 seconds.
Exactly. The objective is multiplying the value of every single asset generated during that one-day batching session.
So what this all means is you shouldn't be making bespoke, fresh content for every single platform.
No, definitely not.
It's like you're creating a prime cut of meat and then using the leftovers to make a stew, a sandwich, and a stock. Use every part of the machine.
I love the meat analogy. It's so true. But, the assembly line, the repurposing, the timing hacks, none of it matters if the creator is ignoring the data. A calendar simply ensures content is published. The data loop is what transforms that calendar into an intelligent growth system. Without it, the creator is just shouting into a void, hoping the algorithm takes pity on them.
Okay, let's dissect that data loop.
Yeah.
Because the material is brutally explicit about one thing. Stop obsessing over likes and comments.
Yes. They are vanity metrics.
Completely. The 4 metrics that actually dictate algorithmic success are reach, profile visits, follower change, and crucially, saves.
Saves are heavily, heavily emphasized because they are the ultimate indicator of content utility and long-term algorithmic value.
Right.
Generally, carousels earn the highest volume of saves, which establishes authority in a niche, and reels earn the highest reach, which drives that top-of-funnel discovery.
Okay, let's take that a step further. Why does the algorithm weigh a save so much heavier than a like? I mean, both require a user to tap the screen, right?
They do, but the intention behind the tab is completely different.
Not so.
A like is a fleeting, frictionless reaction. It takes zero cognitive effort. But a save implies future intent. A save means the user intends to return to the platform later, specifically to view your content again.
Wow. So you are literally helping the social media platform retain its user base.
Exactly. Algorithms are designed by companies whose primary goal is keeping users on the app. They will disproportionately reward any creator who aids in user retention.
That is wild. You are doing the algorithm's job for it, so it pays you in distribution.
Exactly.
So how does a solo creator apply this data practically? Because there is a monthly adjustment protocol built into the end of the 30-day cycle.
Right. So on day 30, you open the analytics dashboard, you identify the highest performing content format based on reach and saves, and you increase its frequency by 1 post a week for the next month.
You double down on what works.
Yes. Then you identify the lowest performing format and you eliminate it entirely. Just cut it. And then you introduce one brand new variable to test.
Wow. It just forces this evolutionary process.
It does. By implementing those small, objective, data-driven adjustments every 30 days, the calendar constantly refines itself.
Yeah.
And after 6 months of running this loop, the creator is no longer guessing what works. They have developed a proprietary playbook customized entirely to their specific audience's behavior. No generic guide can match the granular data collected from an account's own historical performance.
You are essentially building your own custom algorithm.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take a breath and just recap the sheer volume of mechanics we have covered for you today. Because we started by tearing down the illusion of spontaneous magical posting, replacing it with the brutal consistency of the 90-day compounding rule. We examined the required content formats, the reach of reels, the daily pulse of stories, the authority of carousels, and the authenticity signals of interactive stickers.
Right, and then we walk through the 30-day psychological blueprint, sequencing content from the initial introduction all the way to audience conversion.
Digital friendship.
Exactly. We deconstructed the sequential one-day batching assembly line, utilizing that specific combination of ChatGPT, Midjourney, Heijen, and Canva to prevent cognitive fatigue.
Right, the rule of sequence. And then we explored squeezing the absolute maximum value out of that content through staggered cross-platform timing and ruthless repurposing.
Using every part of the meat.
Yes. And finally, we closed the loop with objective data tracking, prioritizing saves over vanity metrics to continually evolve the strategy month over month.
You know, the system is undeniably powerful, and analyzing its efficiency leaves me with a broader concept worth considering.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
Well, we have just mapped out how a single solo creator can utilize AI tools to emulate the relentless output of an entire media agency, right? Forging genuine audience relationships through a calculated calendar.
Yeah.
But what happens when these AI influencers begin collaborating?
Oh, wow.
If a single optimized calendar can build an engaged community, what emerges when a network of synchronized AI calendars begin interacting, tagging each other, and sharing audiences without any human intervention required for the daily operations? We are looking at the foundation for entirely autonomous digital ecosystems.
Autonomous digital ecosystems commanding human attention. That is a wild frontier to consider. Well, to you listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. I highly encourage you to take these systematic frameworks, whether it's the strict rule of sequence for your own workflow or the monthly data audit, and apply them to your own learning or creative projects. Because building something lasting isn't about waiting for a magical brick to fall from the sky. It's about laying the mortar day by day on a schedule. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to AI Creator World Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, and share this episode with another creator who is building their future online. For deeper guides, AI tools, and step-by-step growth strategies, visit our website at aicreatorworld.net. And remember, in the age of artificial intelligence, creators who learn faster will lead the future. See you in the next episode. Bye!